So I just did a video about this nigga MR.BEAST. Now when I tell you, he came to me, right? Don't worry about how he came to me, but he came to me. When I tell you the Chinese and the Japanese had something so fucking evil, I had a job where I met real Japanese people with that curly hair, okay? And now, literally, I was doing a follow-up video about the war going on right now with our jobs. You can stop, you can stop, you can stop. This is New York. They have to yield to pedestrians. That's what I said. Do you see how these fucking Spanish men talk? Look what type of car they're driving. Do you see what type of car they're driving? Unlabeled. In New York, that's illegal. In the United States, that's illegal. Do you understand me? And now, when I was literally, what was I about to say? Literally, back to the Chinese and Japanese people. Dude, they really was like saying this is how they're taking over the Asian community. Don't ever forget, the Samsung granddaughter went away after that big drug bust. Now, I worked in the cell phone industry for 5 years. 5 years. Don't forget, my mother knew computers. My father was still a computer tech. My stepfather was still a computer tech. So don't underestimate how long I truly worked in the wireless industry. So CDM and GSM is pushing their own business, period. And that's for all you cell phone heads that actually know about cell phones. They're pushing their own businesses. So make sure everyone's phone isn't getting hacked and our business accounts aren't getting hacked. When I tell you the Chinese left, they left. And when they left with our fucking money. So now you see Chinese people rolling around here having bubble tea. I have to bring it back to when the bubble tea thing was a movement, okay? They're not even having that anymore because they started doing some robbery and shit like that. So now I'm asking y'all, in the melting pot of New York City, where the Chinese at? Where the Japanese at? Where are they at? When I tell you I know Kung Fu, I know Kung Fu. When I know war, I know war. When I know art of war, I am the art of war. Okay? So now, when I tell you I really want to see every last one of them in a throne, I'm talking about I will knock, you hear me? I used to knock niggas out with my fucking fists. That's how furious I am about the shit that happened today. When I tell you it's just a day, it's just a day. But this is how the days are going for millennials. And that's why I say y'all have to hold on. When fucking cops kidnapped me, I had to tell my mom, hold on and pull on for life. I had to literally ritualize pulling on and holding on for life. So I said they will never have my mother's mind. That's how slick these people move, yo. And when I tell you there is something else going on, and y'all know what I'm talking about. When your mom, literally just your mom, just acts a certain type of way and they don't understand why they're acting like that towards you. And they're like, my daughter is 25, but I don't want my baby to grow up. And then they stop right there because they say, I don't know what this world is coming to, okay? That's still this world, but I'm doing this video for all of us, literally all of us. They can't have your mind. They can't have your mind. That's how hooked up my mind is. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm actually a millionaire. But when that Forex exchange shit started with the Spanish in New York, I started that shit. Because I was studying the bull, the bear. I was studying those markets. Now, when they talk about all these different classes that they're doing, all these different courses, that's not even a pyramid scheme. So get the fuck out of that shit right now, yo. Get out of that shit right now, yo. Because as you can see, it's not with... Get out of that shit right now. See, my friend just got on the phone with his mom. Get out of that shit right now. Now, that's what I said. If you got a coach. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just talking to my friend. I always apologize to my viewers. And that's why my viewers really love me to the point where they said, let's hold her down. They said they knew I would make it through, but I had to go away. So this is Goddessa as well. But when I tell you that they was doing some weird Scientology shit, y'all can crack a Scientologist like that. So okay, excuse me, sir. That's what it was boiling down to. That Scientology got so heavy, and that it's so easy because it's the same old Scientologists. It's the same old Scientologists. So when I tell you that it's still rituals, but it's just spells now. Thank you so much. It's just spells now to get to our mother's mind. So when I tell you, I even studied about my father. I studied about my father. But my real dad, I just let him go because that nigga was so smart. He said, I knew all this shit would happen. Did like this. And you know, men can actually see life. They can see life through a person's eyes. But he doesn't realize that that's as far as he goes when he does shit like that. And I always tell my dad, you can't watch my life because you never raised me. But I did do Pookie's story. And then when I did that, what the fuck did I say, Mr. Beast? I said Pookie's story was never written, it was told. But this is what it had to boil down to. Sorry, my friends are talking. I'm just trying to pay attention. But do you see how we're walking? Excuse me. Do you see how I'm walking? And literally I'm looking up like this? That's how those children had our heads. When I'm talking about the millennials. And I just caught that on camera. So even y'all can play this shit back and see what it was. Yeah. Mr. Beast, you are in trouble. Because this nigga did some crazy shit just now. And when you are in New York and you're a New Yorker, don't forget, I'm a New Yorker. When you talk about a New Yorker, that's a different type of story, okay? So he just did some crazy shit just now. When I tell you that them niggas is on commercials saying blue means slow, green means go. Don't forget, I'm actually blind to nature. When I say I'm blind to nature, I can expose to you all how I really see, okay? But thank you. I'm blind to nature, how I really see. Mr. Beast's logo, that's really a pink cat. Don't forget the Pink Panther. Who's really the Pink Panther? Now I'm talking to some higher up credentials. Yeah, that's how you have to talk and articulate yourself. So if the angel please come through to every millennial, literally right now. Thank you. Every millennial. Because when you're in New York, it's real people that can talk and speak and they can come to you. And when you're homeless, they can wake you up and say, hey, wake up. But they do that in the most softest tone that they can still wake you up and say, just go, because you missed your stop. And that's what happens in New York. But now, you see how I'm stopping? I'm really showing you what Mr. Beast did. That's what he just did. I had to stop just to show y'all what he really did. Can I tell you? That's what he did. He almost caused a car accident in New York City. So like I said, they're always supposed to yield to pedestrians. But even so then, I seen red. I seen red for the light and it would still walk. You understand how they communicate now? Those white liberated people. That's what I said. The fucking liberal states. Now I'm gonna say it because I'm from Virginia. I'm from the Commonwealth, so I was raised Republican. But even so, then we always voted Democrat so we could walk both parties. That's how smart my mother was. When she says, "Did you take the ballot or the?" Don't forget, that's still me and my sister. That's still me and my sister. So when I talk about some higher up Black Panthers, my mother worked for Charter Communication to the point where she was Charter Communication. So now I'm calling on everybody who has ties to Charter Communication to help my friend Gregory Watson. Gregory Watts. Can I tell you, he was the light in my life and he worked for Samsung. He was the regional director for Samsung. So now he's the one who really owns Samsung. You understand me? Because now all of these billionaires went away when their granddaughters started getting in trouble. It wasn't just Samsung's granddaughter. It was another another phone companies, phone manufacturers, granddaughter that got in trouble too. But y'all have to ask the question, why? Why would they get in trouble? Do you see how Mr. Beast does this shit? Do you see how he does this shit? Now his colors are New York police. But guess what I'm gonna show today? Batman. Shoot. When I talk about the Hard Rock Cafe, that's how my life was in Florida, because I really did have a good stable life in Florida. So when I lived on my own, because my real father, my stepfather, my mother's husband stepped in, and he always stepped in for me. But now they think they know our lives, and I have to get to that. They think they know our lives. So I don't know how they got to my governor right now, because that's where I live at in New York.